Sparkle B, it's Fizzy and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to stop caring about what others think about you so you can focus on your goals and whatever it is that you want to do in life. If you're someone that's like that, you tend to care what people think about you, you're a people pleaser or whatnot, then you need to know this one thing. First and foremost, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, honestly, people are so focused on what they need to do. People are so focused on their ambitions, their goals. People are focused on what they're gonna have for dinner. Like, so honestly, you need to stop caring about what people think, because you're putting too much of your focus on them when you can be putting so much of your focus on yourself and improving your life, making your life so much better, having so much having so much fun and doing what you want to do. Last time I checked, I feel like the people who enjoy their life, who have a fulfilling life, are the ones that don't really care what other people think. So, and it's usually people who are older because they're confident, they've gone through life, they know what they want. So honestly, just people don't really care. Everyone is on their own journey, so everyone's doing different things. People live in different countries, they speak different languages, everyone has different things that are going on. So honestly, something that you might think is right in another country is actually not right in another country. So people's opinions aren't always valid. Everyone's on their own journey. So, like, for example, with careers, some people might want to travel before like focusing on their career for a year. Some people want to focus on their career and do what they want. For example, with me, instead of going to uni, I had decided to do an apprenticeship. I know, like, my mother, she was like, what the hell, like, that's different. She was anxious, she was worried, but it ended up going well, and I'm so happy that I did it and I don't regret it. So if I had done the same thing as like with my peers going to uni, it would have been absolutely terrible, because uni is not meant for me. Like, I can't handle like I love the social life, but like the living arrangements, having to work to live there, it's just not for me. And also I like hands-on practical learning, so the apprenticeship was so much more better for me. So you need to understand that everyone's journey is different. So if you take on other people's opinions, or if you look at what other people are doing, it's not going to be good for you. You can do that. I look at other people so I can be inspired, but if it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. Okay, so let's say you're starting something new, you're anxious that what people are going to say, what family members are going to say. People usually don't care unless it starts succeeding, so it starts doing well and people start talking about it. Then people are going to start caring, people are going to start commenting good things about it, people are going to start commenting bad things about it. So honestly, when you start something, or not gonna lie, when you start something, some people might say bad things about it. But at the end of the day, if you look at all of the musicians, the successful musicians, if you look at all of the successful people, if you're thinking about caring about what other people are going to say about you, what other people are going to say, you realize that you start to just do it and like start action taking and going through with your plans. What's great about this is when you take action, a lot of people say that it builds up confidence, so you'll become more confident in it. And also, even if it fails, you'll learn from that mistake, learn from that failure, and you'll become even more confident with it. Like, for example, my YouTube videos, sometimes I get 0 views, sometimes I get 1 view, but I keep going. I'm just like, no, I'm gonna push through. I'm learning so much, the videos are getting better, the thumbnails are getting better. I'm gonna keep going, and I'm not going to stop, because I want to continue doing this. And that's helping me build confidence. It's helping me build resilience. So even if it fails, God forbid, that doesn't matter, because I'll gain a lot of skills from it. And also, the best time with just doing it, the best time is to start today, but an even better time was to start yesterday. That's what I always remember. So whenever I feel like, oh, let me do it later, let me do it tomorrow, I'm like, no, yesterday was the best time. Not even today, but yesterday. So you gotta hop on that horse and do your thing. That's what I tell myself. And also, if you're worried about, oh, what if it looks bad, what if I make mistakes, like, look at inspirational people, look at successful people, and choose someone that you can relate to and see where they started and how where they are right now. For example, I know Ed Sheeran, when he first started out singing, he said he wasn't so great. I think he had like a recording of it, and he said he sounded terrible, but he said he kept pushing through, he kept going, he kept being consistent, he kept being resilient, he kept working hard, and now he's a successful musician. Everyone knows him globally. So he had to start from somewhere. He wasn't so good, but he kept going. When I was younger, I used to like tell people what I'm doing, so I thought it would pressure me to actually do it. That did the opposite, because I'm the type of person I don't usually care. So I just even though I did that, I was like, you know what, scrap it, I just want to do what I want. But now I move in silence, because when I move in silence, when I'm doing something, I don't tell people, I just do it, because I want to put more effort into taking more action and making sure that I do it, because I know that when I don't tell people what I'm doing, I work more harder towards it, so I can see the results more, and so I can work in silence. Because when I fail in silence, I can just focus on, okay, what was it that I did wrong? What is it that I can do better? And I can just keep focused on my goal. The only time that I tell people about what I'm doing is if I know that if I'm networking with whatever I'm doing, like so with YouTube, if I'm networking with people, or if I know that they can help me with what I'm doing. So that's the only time I tell people. Oh gosh, that was a fly. And that's the only time that I tell people what I'm doing. So if you're into manifestation, law of attraction, all of that and whatnot, the great thing about this is detachment. So I did a video about it. If you want to know more about it, you should look at my other videos. I did 2 videos about it. Go ahead and check it out. But basically with detachment, it's the reason I do this is because there are many times when I really want something, and I would tell people, oh, and it didn't happen, or it took a long time for it to happen. But there were times, like I remember when I wanted to do digital marketing for a long time. It was good at the time because I was asking so many questions about it. But when I always said I'll do it, there was one point when I just kept quiet, and then I was looking for jobs and whatnot. I finally got the apprenticeship, and I even sent my resignation letter to my part-time job. I was like leaving, but I didn't really tell anyone. And then one day I was with, like, I think this was at McDonald's, before the job that I had before I got the apprenticeship. And then I was with my colleagues, and then I said that I was going to do digital marketing, and then one of them said, which was right, they were like, oh, you always say that, you always say you're going to do it. And then I was like, it felt good. I was like, yes, I said I was going to do it, but now, yeah, I'm leaving, I'm going. It felt really great, it felt refreshing, it felt like I was starting a new chapter. And it was because I just focused on what I needed to do. I didn't really care, and I just focused on what I needed to do and what I wanted, without having the need to tell other people. No matter who you are, what you do, you will always have haters. So if you're doing social media, content creating, if you're working in an office, if you're a celebrity, if you're an athlete, you're always going to get some type of hater. Sometimes it's for no reason, like they might be nitty picky and complain about maybe the way that you talk, the way that your hairline is. That was very random, but everyone's gonna have haters. Like I think in my previous video I said, oh, spiders have haters. They don't do much, and they can contribute to the environment, but they have haters just because of the way that they look. If you look at the big celebrities out there, the biggest up there, like Lady Gaga, she's a fabulous celebrity, but she still has haters. I believe she has a good reputation, but she still has haters. So imagine, even within your family, there's always going to be a sibling that nags at you. There's always going to be a parent that nags at you. Oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, or a sibling or a parent that will disagree with you. So imagine, if they disagree with you, imagine you go out into the big wide world, or you're online, you're posting things online, and you're bound to see people, or you're bound to come across people online who will hate on you regarding unnecessary things, or there will be a post to your opinion. But if you're going to have morals, and if you're going to have values and beliefs, you're going to have to stick to them. And with that, it also means that you're going to get people who are opposed to or who don't agree with it. And as long as those are your morals and values, that is a core part of you. That is your self-concept. That's who you are. So you can't, unless you've been given a valid reason to change them, that's probably been backed up with evidence, then of course change it if you need to. But if those are your morals and your values, that's who you are, then you need to stick to that. Also because the moment you lose your standards, when you have no backbone, you have no identity, you're just agreeing with everyone, and you have no voice. You think politicians out there, they're obviously going to get hate because they have to fight for a certain party, they have to fight for a certain belief, and they persuade the crowd to agree with them if they're always wishy-washy. So they have to genuinely believe that what they are doing is right, if that is what they believe. So going back to morals, boundaries and standards, so if you look at like the big brands, big companies, if you look at their marketing, You look at their branding, their identity, they all have morals, standards and beliefs, and that is why certain people are attracted to these companies. That's why certain people are aligned with these companies, because of their values and what they believe in. For example, maybe Nike, Just Do It. They probably most likely promote sports, athlete, being healthy, just doing it, pushing yourself to the limit. That's obviously going to attract athletes or people who want to push themselves, or popular athletes who are attending the Olympics, and also just people in general who want to get into sports, they want to get into fitness. And so with that, they're the type of people that would want to look at clothing that is like high quality, footwear that is good for running, good for sports, and the company believes that with good footwear, good high quality materials, it can improve your performance, and also it can give you a support, your body support. So people who follow that, they're attracted to this company because they stand with those morals, those values. On social media, Nike will have to have some type of personality that also shows this, and also fight for certain rights that are going on. And if they're going to lose customers over it, then that's just it. Then that's just inevitable, because that is what the company stands for, and they need to stick by that. Same with Lululemon, and also the same with, let's say there's this company Acai Berry. If we're talking about health, there's a company Acai Berry. They're not going to promote like eating unhealthy, eating processed foods. They're going to promote things like, oh, eat organic food, eat healthy foods, eat fruit, eat vegetables, eat fresh meals, and make sure you're healthy, look after yourself, stuff like that. They're not going to promote unhealthy habits and things, because that's not part of their brand, that's not part of their values, that's not part of their morals. And because of that, people stay with the brand, and because of that, it gives the brand a personality. It makes the brand stand out from other companies, because that's their values and what they stand for. And because of that, they're able to attract a certain audience because of what they stand for. So what I'm saying is, basically, once you stop caring about what other people think, it will build up, as I said, it will build up your confidence. It will also give you backbone and give you a better understanding of who you are, and it will make people trust you more, because you know who you are, and you're not wishy-washy with your words. You don't like to sway between two opinions. You like to just stick with a certain opinion, and that makes you more trustworthy. If someone were to come to you for an opinion, it would give you if someone were to come to you with an opinion, you would most likely give an honest opinion, because you'll stick to that opinion, compared to someone who's also wishy-washy with their words. It will just confuse you. But with you won't do that. Once you stop caring about what people think of you, you can start living your life, doing what you want. You can start working on your your anxiety, your limiting beliefs, the way you dress, the way you look, being concerned about, oh, do I look too fat in this? Do I look too tall in this? Does my arm look wonky? I don't know. Does my hair look frizzy? Does it look messy? Because most of the time, your imperfections are usually something that people love, like maybe straight hair's in, but people might like, oh, they might like that you have very frizzy hair, and you try to straighten it to make it flat, but people like how frizzy it is. It might give you like that 90s like throwback look. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. Some of your imperfections that people might not agree with or like is actually something that might be attractive to another person. And also, those imperfections can make you stand out. And of course, with doing what you want, wearing what you want, saying what you want, also do it in a way where it doesn't really harm anyone or like harm a specific community. It's good to be respectful, because you aren't the only person in this world. So be like appropriate. What I'm trying to say is that with like wearing what you want, you could be, if you like being naked, you can obviously do that in your home and do what you want. But if you're going to a playground with kids and you're running around naked, it's not very inappropriate. So I don't advise you to do that. Do things that are appropriate and respectful, because it also shows the type of person you are and your character as well. So don't you forget that. I usually don't care, but like I've been like this year, I've been doing my thing, going out, having fun, doing what I want, and I just feel so free. I feel so happy, and I feel like this has got to be one of my like best years of my life, and I'm just having fun. and being free, meeting new people, and I'm just so happy. These YouTube channels made me so much more happy, it makes me so much more fulfilled, because even though it's stressful, it's tiring, it takes up so much of my time, it's like I feel like I have something to myself, I can do things, and it's also made me grown as a person, and I feel so much more alive and so much more like ready to tackle on the day. I feel like I have a much more optimistic outlook on life as well. Okay, last thing, this is quite sad, but we are all going to pass away, unfortunately. So, or fortunately, it depends, because some people might not want to live long, but anyway, it's a whole other story. Anyway, so we're all going to pass away at some point. So when you're on your deathbed, I hope that you're thinking, I have no regrets. I've done everything that I wanted to do, or most things that I could do, and I have no regrets, and I've lived and enjoyed my life, and I did what I wanted to do without really caring what other people think, and I just went for it, and I went for it, and that's because I trusted myself to do that. It's because I believed in myself. It's because I was optimistic, and that's because I worked hard for it, and I want you to have those emotions and feelings and memories looking back at your life, thinking like that but just before you pass away. Even though this is quite depressing to mention, you should live life with no regrets. So stop caring what people think about you and just go for it. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. I had fun. This is fun. It's quite hot out here, but you know, we got to do what you got to do. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you felt a vibe. I post every 2 to 3 days. I'm gonna keep going. Posting these lovely videos for you. I hope you stay motivated. I hope you're so happy, and I hope this has uplifted your day or someone. So that was the end of my video. Bye, sparkle babes. Toodles.